Goldman Sachs has exploded higher plus 9.12% to $1,141.28, a historic single-session move that demands your attention. In this video we break down what is driving this and what it means. Welcome to MTRS_Market Pulse. It is Wednesday, July 15th, and this is your complete global market briefing. Risk assets are outperforming as investor confidence strengthens. Let us start with a quick look at how the major global markets are positioned today. Starting with the major global indices. S&P 500 is trading higher by plus 0.38% at $7,543.59. Investor sentiment is being shaped by S&P 500 and NASDAQ end higher on cool inflation data, solid bank earnings. NASDAQ 100 edged higher plus 1.10% to $29,586. Investor sentiment is being shaped by Dow Jones futures, techs fall, oil prices rise amid new US-Iran attacks, Taiwan Semi, Nvidia, Micron, SanDisk. Investors Business Daily. Dow Jones is little changed, hovering near $52,508. Investor sentiment is being shaped by S&P 500 and NASDAQ end higher on cool inflation data, solid bank earnings. DAX ticked up plus 0.32% to $25,147. The move follows reports that Wall Street ends lower as Iran tensions dampen risk appetite, the Detroit News. FTSE 100 is trading higher by plus 0.30% at $10,529. Investor sentiment is being shaped by S&P 500 and NASDAQ end higher on cool inflation data, solid bank earnings. Now let us turn to some of the biggest names in global equities. Goldman Sachs surged plus 9.12% to $1,141.28 in a significant session. Equity markets are responding to reports that Wall Street bank earnings surge, lifted by trading and investment banking, WTVB. The asset and wealth management pivot is lowering earnings volatility. Private credit exposure is a growth area but carries liquidity risk in stress. Near term, the IB deal calendar is the stock driver. Watch for any mega IPO or M&A advisory win. TCS surged plus 6.36% to 2,200.60 Indian rupees in a significant session. Investor sentiment is being shaped by TCS begins FY27 with continued growth, wins multiple RE transformation deals, Tata Consultancy Services. The 26 to 28% EBIT margin band has been consistently delivered. The market wants to see whether AI-driven productivity allows margin expansion beyond the upper end of that range. Attrition stabilization is a positive signal on demand confidence. AI services deal conversions are the emerging growth driver. Nvidia made a dramatic move today, surged plus 4.06% to $211.80. Equity markets are responding to reports that Nvidia's latest RE breakthrough may not be a chip and it could fuel the next data center boom, 24/7 Wall St. The AI infrastructure supercycle shows no sign of slowing. Nvidia's pricing power on H100 and Blackwell chips remains exceptional. No credible competitor is close on performance. The next catalyst is the next earnings call. Any upward revision to forward estimates would push the stock toward new highs. The main downside risk remains export controls. Samsung surged plus 3.34% to $263,000 in a significant session. Investor sentiment is being shaped by Samsung profit surges over eightfold to beat estimates as RE boom fuels memory chip crunch. The HBM supply competition with SK Hynix is the defining story. Samsung needs to close the yield gap to win hyperscaler HBM contracts. Consumer DRAM pricing is recovering as inventory normalizes. Watch for any Nvidia or Google qualification update on Samsung HBM. Now let us dig into the macro picture driving these moves. Geopolitical risks remain elevated. The move follows reports that Wall Street ends lower as Iran tensions dampen risk appetite, the Detroit News. This is keeping traders cautious and supporting flows into defensive assets. The key macro overlay remains monetary policy. Investor sentiment is being shaped by S&P 500 and NASDAQ end higher on cool inflation data, solid bank earnings. Any surprise in the rate path could trigger outsized moves. Rate expectations remain a key driver for growth and technology stocks, which are highly sensitive to discount rate assumptions. On the data front, investor sentiment is being shaped by S&P 500 and NASDAQ end higher on cool inflation data, solid bank earnings. Turning to commodities. Brent crude climbed to $85.34 per barrel, up 2.45% on the session. This comes as Dow Jones Futures, techs fall, oil prices rise amid new US-Iran attacks, Taiwan Semi, Nvidia, Micron, SanDisk Investors Business Daily, adding pressure to energy markets. WTI crude climbed to $79.83 per barrel, up 2.16% on the session. This comes as Dow Jones Futures, techs fall, oil prices rise amid new US-Iran attacks, Taiwan Semi, Nvidia, Micron, SanDisk Investors Business Daily, adding pressure to energy markets. Natural gas edged higher to $2.92, up 0.9% on the session. The move follows reports that Wall Street ends lower as Iran tensions dampen risk appetite, the Detroit News. Gold climbed to $4,058.30 per troy ounce, up 1.53% on the session. Safe haven demand is being supported by reports that why is gold a safe haven investment? Yahoo Finance. Let us give you our near-term view on Goldman Sachs. From a momentum perspective, the next key resistance for Goldman Sachs sits around $1,209.76. A sustained break above that level could attract further institutional buying. The main risk to the upside scenario is a shift in macro conditions or central bank tone. This is our analytical view, always do your own research. In the currency markets, Euro to US dollar is at 1.14, gaining 0% on the day. Pound sterling to US dollar is at 1.33, gaining 0% on the day. US dollar to Japanese yen is at 162.43, gaining 0% on the day. The move in the dollar reflects reports that gold prices slide as strong dollar outweighs safe haven demand MSN. Before we wrap up, here is your watch list for the sessions ahead. Keep a close eye on central bank speakers and rate commentary, and key economic data releases. Any one of these could be the catalyst that defines the next major directional move. We cover every major global market, every single day. If this kind of daily, actionable analysis is useful to you, please support us with a like and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds and it means a great deal to this channel. Share this with anyone who invests or trades, they will thank you for it. That is all from MTRS_Market Pulse for today. All analysis is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always consult a qualified financial advisor. Trade safe and we will see you in the next one. That is your full global market briefing from MTRS_Market Pulse. Subscribe and turn on notifications for daily updates.